Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio.
Today marks a very memorable day for both parties, that is UNISA and Agrilux Organic, a leading company in the agriculture community. Okay, so
this is a momentous collaboration that will advance our agriculture field. We hope that we will have a bright and successful journey with our partner UNISA.
I agree with the statement from the Agrilux company, since this is partnership that will cultivate the future of our generation, especially for the future.
Okay, so we're going to commence with the signing of the MOU, okay?
Sure.
So, UNISA? Okay, so now, Dato, would you do us the honors and sign? Take one last look and sign. Okay. With the signature from both parties, now starts a beautiful partnership between UNISA and Agrilux Organic. So if you would like to commence this.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
For our challenges, we have 2 points that we have to challenge when we are doing this contract MOU. The first one is to understand the purpose of the legal MOU. We are having a quite hard time in trying to understand why there is MOU when you can just have a contract agreement straight away. In the end, we know that without preparing an MOU, it is difficult for both parties to make sure that the agreement reflects the desired outcome of both parties. MOU reflects the desired outcome of both parties. Therefore, MOU can be concluded as compulsory for the betterness of both parties in the future, and this mainly aimed to avoid any conflict later on. The second challenge that we are having when we're doing MOU is to use a proper and suitable language or terms. There has been a bit of misunderstanding in choosing a suitable language for the drafting of this MOU. A good MOU must be written in accordance with relevant laws or regulations. If the language or terms used is not properly constructed, the MOU may be unenforceable. For example, the difference between the word vague and uncertain. These two terms brings a different meaning to the table, as vague may mean as while uncertain may mean as and.
In the beginning, we had no idea on how to construct the MOU, as we did not have any basic understanding. We were also unsure about what we needed to write and what does not need to be included in the MOU. So based on this written assignment, we can conclude that all pertinent information must be included. For example, the date of the agreement, full name of both parties, and very detailed description of the agreement that are included in the content of the MOU. And we also had some challenges with time management. We were having difficulties to find a suitable time for each member to gather around to solve issues that arise. And this was because at that particular time, there were a few submissions for assignments on other subjects that needed to be submitted around the same deadline. but all around we managed to find slot to settle this written assignment in the time given.
One of the solutions to overcome the difficulty on drafting an MOU is to get guidance from the lecturer. Referring to the lecturer allows us to seek clarification and gain a deeper understanding of the MOU. We also gain benefit from their experiences in the case studies, which help us shorten the gap between theory and practice. By referring to them, our understanding and perspective are beyond what is covered in textbook. Next, by doing a past research on MOU. Finding past research helps us to build a foundation of knowledge on MOU. By exploring existing studies, literature review, and academic papers, we gain insight and understand the key concept of the MOU. We learn how to evaluate the credibility and reliability of the sources, identify the key findings, and draw connection of the MOU. It also helps us to further develop our research skills. Last but not least, to overcome the difficulty, we prioritize important tasks. Prioritizing the tasks helps us to allocate our time effectively by identifying tasks that are most significant and need immediate attention. It prevents us from wasting time on less important or trivial activities. Instead, it ensures that valuable time is dedicated to tasks that contribute to the overall goals and objective of the MOU.
Moving on to lesson learned. Based on this written assignment of MOU, we learn how to prepare or draft a legal MOU. We are capable of learning on how to avoid a major error or ambiguity in this memorandum. If the information stated in this MOU is not precise and not accurate, it may lead to confusion to both parties and then resulting to unintended questions in the future. Therefore, we learn what to include in the MOU and what need not to be included. The next one is, we are able to identify a legally drafted documents. Nowadays, anyone, whether they have a certificate or not, can draw a memorandum of understanding for each and every transaction. The question is whether or not the memorandum of agreement is legally enforceable in order to form a contract in the future. So there are a few elements that must be met in order to write a legally binding document. And based on this written assignment, we know how. The last one is, we learn and we are able to understand the purpose of drafting a MOU. Regarding this written assignment, we managed to obtain the major purpose of MOU, which is to gain mutual consent and understanding of the partnership between all parties involved in order to proceed the agreement into an enforceable contract in the future. In simple way, we can say that MOU is the basic things that we need to prepare before we enter into any contract, any enforceable contract.
Next, let's move to the importance of legal drafting skill to draft this MOU. Firstly, we are able to ensure clarity and accuracy in legally enforceable document. In our opinion, legal drafting skills are important as it is to ensure that the legal documents are clear and concise. Memorandum of Understanding use well-defined term, which is to avoid any ambiguity in the term used. The accuracy of the content in legal drafting are important in order to avoid any significant financial or any legal implication in the future. Second, we are also able to draft precise legal document. The written assignment of drafting require a high degree of precision as the legal document prepared must be sufficiently detailed and accurate in order to perform a legally enforceable contract. This precision focus more on the parties involved and the term used which are precise enough to carry the intention.
Next, we move to how these assignments of drafting Memorandum of Understanding improve our understanding in law of contract. The first point is the assignment of drafting Memorandum of Understanding help us to understand the legal process. For us, understanding the relationship between MOU and contract can help us to better understand the legal process of negotiating and drafting agreements. It can also help us to identify potential issues and stumbling blocks in the negotiation process, such as ambiguous language or unclear terms. We can also assume that a task like this will give us a real work experience to apply contract law fundamentals like figuring out who the parties are, what they are trying to accomplish, what the terms and conditions, and drafting a contract that is legally enforceable. Additionally, it will also assist us in acquiring the attention to detail abilities necessary for success in this legal field. Overall, the assignment of preparing this MOU can help us to have a better grasp of contract law by giving us a practical setting in which to put our knowledge and abilities to use. And then the second point of how the assignment of drafting MOU may improve our understanding is it allows us to apply the theoretical knowledge to a real-world situations. Drafting an MOU requires us to apply our knowledge of contract law to real-world situations. This practical experience can help us to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills because we must consider the specific needs and goals of the parties involved in the agreement. Next, drafting an MOU can help us develop communication and negotiation skills in making a contract successful. We must clearly communicate the terms and conditions of the agreement to all parties involved in the agreement and negotiate any disagreements or conflict that may arise. Overall, studying MOU and contract can provide law students with practical skills in drafting legal documents, negotiating terms, and interpreting complex legal language. These skills are essential for success in many areas of law, including contract law, corporate law, and international law. Thank you. That's all from me.